Hello friends, welcome to the Angular 8 tutorial. In this tutorial, we will learn what is dependency injection in Angular 8 and what is the use of dependency injection in Angular 8. So basically, a dependency injection always is one of the main benefits of the Angular framework. Like it is a technique where one object it depend on the another object, and in Angular a dependency object is used as a service. Like in the previous tutorial we get to know about the services where we created one service, and inside the service we created a method, and we were using that method through component in the HTML page. So basically that component is depend on the services. So in the Angular 8, service is basically a dependency. So basically dependency injection is a design pattern where class receive their dependency from external resources rather than creating himself. In this image we can see like class B is depend on the class A. So basically what we can say, like class B is depend on class A to execute the class B methods. Like there is some logic written in the class B, but that logic is complete when class B get the input from the class A. So class B is basically depend on the class A. So what we will say, class A is a dependency of the class B. So this, that is basically dependency injection in Angular 8. So now in the more, like dependency injection is the combination of the dependency and the injection. So what is dependency? Basically it's a object, or we can say a service which can be used on the another object, and the injection it's a process. Like we have created service, so the process of passing dependency to the dependent object. Like in the class B we need a class A, so it's a injection is the process of passing that dependency to the class B. So it create a object of the class with the required dependency. And in the Angular framework, dependency injection basically contain three section, and that is injector, provider, and the dependency. So what is the injector? The main use of this is like to expose an object, like we have created any API or we have used any service method. So basically injector, the main use of injector to expose that method or API, which basically help us to create the instance of that dependency class or service. And what is the provider? A provider in Angular is basically acting as a instructor, or we can say commander. It basically provide the instruction to the process of creating the instance of the dependent classes or the services. Basically in the provider always taken the token value in the sense like a one object instance value as a input, and then map that token value with the newly created instance of the class. So that is basically a provider in the Angular 8 dependency injection. And basically there are two type of provider, one is app level and the component level. Like we can define the dependency injection on the app level as well as on the component level. If we are going to define on the app level, then there is a file called app.module.ts. Like it means this service will be applicable life of an application. But if we define that provider on the component level, then that service will be means life cycle of that service will be to that component only. And the next comes section is a dependency. So dependency is a processor type that basically identify the nature of creating object. Like it's a what kind of object we are going to create. So that is dependency. So let's understand more about this dependency injection with an example. So basically in the previous tutorial we have seen, like we created a one service, and in the service we created a method called display data. So basically to in the component we are exposing that method, we are taking that value. So this app component method this app component variable is depend on this display data which is we created in the service to show on the browser. So basically this is also a dependency injection, but we will create one more example to understand it more. So what I will take student info, and the type of this I will take any, like array type, and I will define this student info like I will give name 1, and I will give age 20, and I will copy it. So like in previous tutorial, whatever we have done, that is also an example of the dependency injection only, but we are taking another example also, so we'll understand it more, like how services works and how dependency injection work in the Angular. And I will make it as a 4. So basically now we have created a set of data. Now as I explained the previous tutorial, like after declaring a method in the services, we have to attach this service in the app model as well, and we have to take this service in the component, like in which component we are going to implement it. In the same component we have to add it, like we already have added here. Now we have to, what we have to do, we have to take this Angular this student information into the component. So what I will do, I will take a one variable like student info, and this will be a array type only. And what I will do, inside this on ng on init, I will assign that value. We know the output will come in the array type, this dot, and we will take service dot and the student info. So now that information has come under this variable. Now I can use this variable in the HTML with using an example. So what I will do, I will take a one table and I will define border to this, and I will take tr. Inside this tr I will make the loop. Let info of this variable, and inside this td, in the interpolation I will use info dot name, and another td I will take info dot age. So let's save it and see on the browser now. So we will see one table, like we are fetching data from the through the services. So that is basically a dependency injection, like this student info variable is depend on the services method, so it is depend on this. So that is basically a dependency injection in the Angular 8. If you have any question, please comment. Thank you.